There's so many things that you can do or you want to do or you're interested in. But for me, what I suggest is whatever the issue is that makes you literally get out of bed and you're so enraged by it that it motivates you to try to solve it, that's your issue. Stick with it. And if that's the problem that you try to solve, you will figure it out. The first time I went to death row, I'd never seen it. And just going there, and that was my first time inside of a prison as well, and seeing hundreds of people just locked up, and I was there to see my first ever client, Zulfikar, and because I was dressed as a lawyer, and all the others could tell that I was a lawyer, even though I was a woman lawyer, and half of them were like, what is she doing here? But the fact that I was a lawyer and I was meeting somebody whose even his Supreme Court appeal had been cancelled, so it was a part of death row that no lawyers come to. And I sat there with him and I talked to him for so long that all of the other prisoners started yelling out my name. And I had to kind of step aside. I pretended I needed to go to the bathroom so the warden could take me outside. And I remember going outside and I was so overwhelmed. I didn't want to cry in front of the warden, but it was such an overwhelming feeling. And I remember looking up, to the left, and then suddenly there was the gallows right there. And it was just, I'll never forget that feeling in my entire life. You can feel death. You can feel, there's a heaviness in that air. It's silent and there's a heaviness in that air. And then I just remember looking up being I had tears coming down my face because I just didn't know what I was supposed to do with this, right? There were 600 people in just that ward alone. And I'm a year and a half, 2 years out of law school, and what the hell am I supposed to do with this? But I think I also just knew that was it. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know how I was going to do it. But I knew that I couldn't live with myself if I ever walked away from it. And so that's how it began.